Recording. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon. I'm still in the morning. Hello, everyone. Hello. How are you all doing? Y'all good? Can I see some faces? I don't like seeing the dark all the time. I like connecting with people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Unless y'all still on the job and y'all can't show your face, but welcome, and I'm glad that everyone is here. Again, thank you all for joining us. I'm going to go through a quick overview, and I'm conscious of everyone's time. We may go over because I have a special guest today that's going to join us, that's going to actually be part of the cohort. So I am excited about that. Um, and that we want everyone to get engaged because right now, the house is on fire, y'all. It's just crazy. We can't keep up with them. I feel bipolar with them. It's like we get this way and did anybody read Project 25? Is this part of 25? If so, I didn't read it. It was just too much. But anyway, I'm going to jump into today's session and let's talk about specifically this program and what it's all about. And again, thank you guys for joining me. Again, we are GPI, and the goal today is to make sure that you understand this particular contracting vehicle that has really been in existence for a while. But my guest speaker is going to talk a little bit more about it because she was the one who mentioned something to me about it, and I just ran with it. And I was like, "This has been around this long?" So it's important that we understand how they are maneuvering and that we're constantly trying to stay ahead of the game. So I want to be clear on who should be participating in this 6 weeks accelerator. The 6 week accelerator was designed for more seasoned businesses, you're already operating, you're positioned to compete for a live opportunity right now. Our goal is to focus on opportunities under this particular contracting vehicle. I think a lot of people were confused when they were looking at the sessions that we were covering, and many of you have come through my program, so I appreciate that. And they were like, "Well, we did all that in your program." This is completely different than my program. My program is a 15 weeks intense program. This is another level, and I would say elective after you've completed the 15 weeks program. What is the CSO? CSO stands for Commercial Solutions Openings. I think they modified it, and I'm not going to steal the thunder of our guest speaker. Um, they modified it last year to the FAR to minimize the paperwork. And Michael is also going to be able to demonstrate how he's gone through and his position on these opportunities. It's a way to fast track these buys. You keep your IP, and again, I'm gonna let my guest speaker go into the nuts and bolts of it. But if you look at what they've done and what they're doing between the two and the standard process for accepting solicitations and awarding them, is completely different. The whole goal is to fast track and to bring in another crew of businesses that may not be have not had access to government contracts before. As you can see, these are the time frame as it relates to the typical awards and what they've done for this contracting and this program. 90 days. And then I've also identified an example of an opportunity and the process it took for the award. What is the government buying under this vehicle? These are some of the items that they're buying. But when I look at it as a whole, a lot of this is technical. I have no idea about the technical piece of it, but I know how to manage a business, and you can really leverage project management in this area when you are looking at partnering and some of those opportunities, because a lot of the techies may not know how to manage a project. So that's where project management and different certifications can come into play that can assist the wins for those that do have the actual skill sets to respond to these opportunities. So, what does a project management opportunity look like? And again, AI is our game changer. So, I leveraged my AI agent, and that's what we're hoping that we'll build as we go through this process, an AI agent that's specifically for the CSO. So, I asked my AI agent to pull out a opportunity and what would that look like on those opportunities. So it gave me real examples of what that opportunity may state once it's issued and what it's looking for in your submission. Again, I'm not going to go into the whole depth of it because that's Michael's part, because he's actually been submitting bids as a prime and understands that process better than I do. This is a real case study that was awarded under the Defense Innovation Unit. It identified what the challenge and what that posting looked like, and what the agency ended up, or who the agency ended up awarding those contracts to. So it would not give me the actual dollar amount of these awards from last year, but it's providing me with the total amount of this game that's been in existence since 2016, which I didn't realize. But again, my guest speaker will go into a little bit depth about that. 51% is prototype. These are some of the big boards that are currently playing into this space. This initiative, which is going to start Monday with a live kickoff at Pinnacle Bank, where we launched the first initiative from 11 to 1 p.m. These are the topics and the sessions that we will cover each week. My goal is that you walk away with things that are tangible, that you have action plans, you know where you're going through. Michael is going to demonstrate a app that he's created that's going to support you in class. Let me cut off somebody's mute. I'm going to mute them. He's going to demonstrate how we're going to feed the opportunities and how we're going to be able to connect those who are in the cohort for teaming opportunities. As you all consistently hear me state, we cannot do this by ourselves. It's important that we do come together and collectively um, understand this game. Week 4, again, Attorney Chandler is going to join us and talk about how to position yourself as a subcontractor. So it's going to be pretty intense, but we hope that you get things from it. So the criteria to participate, you have to already have a SAM registration. That's now August 21st. The cohort is going to actually start Monday, the 31st. You have to be in a business, not a startup, ideally with, again, existing past performance, a rough capability statement. Yes, those that have gone through my program, I've helped you create a general broad capability statement. But our second session is really going to begin to focus on the areas. So you're going to tailor your capability statements to the opportunities that are out there. We need those who are the decision makers in these sessions, not the general. The member price is right now $650 until tomorrow. And we have, I think, 12 more slots available. And non-member is 850. Our whole goal is to uh, um, uh, build each other up. I'm going to put the right registration link into play. But before we get to Michael, I want to introduce our guest speaker because I know she's on a short time and she's agreed in short notice to join us. I have Attorney Chandler online, and she has been knee deep in this space and actually responding to opportunity. So I am so excited that she's jumping in and she's always on the pulse of what's going on because she's located up in Washington, D.C. So Attorney Chandler, thank you, thank you. It's your turn. She's not going to be able to show her face because she's driving, and I called her on short notice. So Attorney Chandler,
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me, Miss Paula?
we can.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. Good to be here. Let me tell you something, Miss Paula Watts. You call, I show up. Okay. I'm in the middle of driving through the mountains right now on travel to get to some place. But when Miss Paula asks, the answer is always yes, yes, and oh, did I say yes? So thanks for allowing me to be on with your team, Miss Paula. I love the work you're doing in this space and really empowering folks. So thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
So I wanted to talk to you guys about what is happening right now. So a little bit about my background. So I am an attorney, but I'm also a government contracts subject matter expert and a consultant. So I typically work defense, national security, aerospace, and healthcare opportunities that are worth $500 million each on up to the multi-billions of dollars each for literally the largest companies on the planet. You probably used their technology at some point in the last 24 hours. And so that's what I do. I've won over $15 billion single award work. And then I also am an attorney in the space and a consultant. So my goal is to try to help you win the work. But if I am serving as your attorney, I stand in the gap to help protect you if something's not going right and make sure that you're getting taken care of. I wanted to talk to you about what I'm seeing from that consultant point of view. So I was recently called about 6 months ago by a bunch of retired, and most of the people I work with are retired military folks, retired senior executive service folks, SES folks in the government, generals, admirals, all of that. And so there was about three or four, or there were two, excuse me, three. One was a three and one was a four-star retired general, very well known. And they called me and said, "Hey, TR," they call me TR. "Hey, TR, we understand that you're the person to talk to. This is something that's coming out of the Pentagon. We want to know what your thoughts are about it." And I'm like, "Okay, what's going on?" They're like, "Hey, we have this CSO. What does this mean? How does this differ from the way we typically would work on proposals? How do we bid on work with this?" So a CSO is a commercial solutions opening. And let me just make this very quick work. The government is saying we're tired of things taking 87.3 years to get out, from the idea to developing requirements to their proposal, request for proposal hitting the street to it being responded to and awarded and a contract being stood up. It takes too long. A lot of times the technology is obsolete, or it's been overcome by events by the time these things hit the street in real life. So what they've developed is something called a commercial solutions opening. What they're doing is leveraging procurement strategies that you would use if you were working on commercial work at bidding on work at like Walmart or what have you. And what they're doing is they're using those strategies to go after, to have you pursue government work. The reason that this is important is because the DoD was using this as a tool to get innovation into their pipeline faster. So this was before we entered the current conflict that we're in with Iran. But what I will tell you is that this was in preparation for any conflicts that were to come. You guys, when you are looking for opportunities, and Ms. Paula will teach you about how to search for things and how to do all the great things. When you're looking for opportunities, you need to be looking for this term, CSO, commercial solutions openings. No longer is it going to be just looking for simplified acquisitions or opportunities that are sole source or 8A opportunities. You need to be looking for this because the government just made a huge shift. Instead of this being just something they look to introduce innovation into the pipeline to protect the warfighter, they've removed the innovation requirement. And now going after commercial solutions openings opportunities is the preferred method of choice for contracting for the Department of Defense. This is huge. It is something that's quietly been done. Most people don't even realize that they are really trying to, at some level, make obsolete portions of the FAR that control transparency, access, equality, and all of those things that were baked in so that everybody had a shot to compete on opportunities, not just a handful. Okay. So, why does this matter to you? Because most people don't even know where to look for these opportunities. SAM.gov is one of them, right? SAM.gov is literally congressionally mandated as the platform of choice from the government on which to post any opportunity that's worth $25,000 or more. However, with the commercial solutions openings, they can post them any number of places. Any number of places. And Ms. Paula will walk you through that and I can share, come back and go into further detail about that. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of I don't want to say off brand, but there's a lot of side platforms that some of them you've never heard of or you've barely heard of that now that's where they're posting opportunities. Also, these opportunities are often being posted under NAICS codes, the North American Industry Classification Codes. You'll hear more about that from Ms. Paul. They're being posted in NAICS.
Yeah. You're breaking up on us. You're
Uh-oh.
breaking.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear
Now we
me?
can. Yes. Yes.
Oh, can you hear me? Okay, I'm
Yes.
sorry. I'm going through the mountains. Okay, great. And so let me tell you why this matters with these NAICS codes. They're publishing some of these opportunities under NAICS codes where you would normally not work or not look. So for instance, there was one where I told you these 3 and 4 star generals called me and they said, hey, this is an opportunity that's a data center deal where the government is looking to post data centers on unused land on military bases across, at this point, the Department of the Army. Okay. Why does that matter? Because think about it. If you've ever been on a military base, you'll see where they have hundreds and hundreds and sometimes thousands of acres of unused land. Now, someone had the idea of why not put data centers on that land and lease it back to private industry and run a commercial enterprise on a military base. Okay. Not the brightest idea, in my opinion, but here we found ourselves. Okay. But when you looked at the opportunity to post and build these billion-dollar data centers, they did not load them up under opportunities that were technology related. Guess what they registered them under? Under real estate deals. So unless you're looking specifically for a real estate transaction, you would never have found these opportunities that were posted. And oh, by the way, these opportunities are such that I heard Ms. Paula talking about Pinnacle Financial Group earlier. These opportunities are such that they're now requiring a lot of businesses to bring their own financing to the table. So when I tell you Ms. Paula K. Watts is ahead of her time and always leading from the front, her getting you guys synced up with like a Pinnacle group to hopefully help you put these deals together is very, very, very fortuitous. Because now what we're seeing on these deals, the one I was just working on, they were awarding opportunities with very, very little scrutiny, may I add, the type of scrutiny that you would give to housing and urban development ordering, 100 new chairs for the first floor. They were giving out multi-billion with the B dollar deals. They would put the opportunity out in February. It was due in February. It was awarded at the end of March. I've run multi-billion-dollar deals. That is not usual. Usually opportunities like that would take a year or so to get through the pipeline, 18 months, 2 years sometimes to get through the pipeline. And even if it were expedited and streamlined, it would not happen all within the span of 5 weeks to offer and award multi-billion-dollar deals across the Department of Defense. The financing part of it, absolutely critical. And I'll say this to you. If your financing isn't right, you have got to listen to and work with Ms. Paula, because they're asking private equity to come to these opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So part of my LLM is your master's of law degree that you can get specializing in a particular part of law after you become an attorney. And mine is actually in procurement from DW. And I was managing editor of the Public Contract Law Journal. I love procurement. I am a procurement fangirl, such a nerd. When I tell you this move, and so I wrote a paper. One of my thesis was in part on public-private partnerships, which is when you have a private business that partners with the government, offers them funding or in-kind services to get stuff done. It's not really used as much at the federal level. You typically see this in state and local governments. Hey, we want to build a road here, for our new development by whatever, Toll Brothers. We're going to partner with the local government to help fund part of the road so that we can have access and everybody's happy. Well, now the federal government is requiring that public-private partnerships be used as a method of contracting. This is a way that I believe can squeeze out small businesses if you guys are not right and don't have your money situated and are not partnered with a firm that says we have deep pockets and can back you. Because what I've seen is names that you know the names is what I will say. I can't give away too much, but the firms that are the largest banks on the planet are now coming into this space, and they are underwriting companies to say, oh yeah, dear government, you want a multi-billion-dollar deal? We'll back them. We'll back this small company with 5 guys in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
So why does that matter? Because a lot of times the diversity is not there. You don't see a lot of people of color or people who are disabled or people of different backgrounds. And so that's part of what I always make sure to fight for, that gets to the table on these opportunities. But what I'm here to tell you is track these CSOs. I won't belabor the point, but track these CSOs, get familiar with them, because this is now the new way that government contracting is being done. They're using the CSOs, and they're using something also called OTAs, other transactional agreements. Some people call them other transaction authorities. And this has been used for years as a way to circumvent the traditional pipeline. Now they're combining, hey, let's short circuit a 1-year pipeline down to 5 months. And oh, by the way, let's get the funding in part by private industry, and let's just do what we want to do. And that's what's happening. Okay. So track your CSOs, track your OTAs, and do whatever Ms. Paula says. And one more thing, Ms. Paula, can I share one more thing about
Yes.
new SBA rule, and then I'll get out y'all's hair. But so the SBA, Small Business Administration, even though they seem to have forgotten their mission, but here we find ourselves. The Small Business Administration has out for comment a rule that I was asked actually on a couple of days ago to weigh in with a bunch of attorneys. So we're going to write commentary on this. But they have a proposed rule for changing what qualifies as a small business. Okay, they have different thresholds that are absolutely wild, and so I want you guys to make sure you keep an eye on the small businesses new rule for small business set asides. Not set aside, small business qualifications. So case in point, they have nearly 1,000 different NAICS codes that they have lumped into. Now I'm taking it down to 338. I'm sorry, I just saw the police pull behind me, guys. I'm sorry. Down to 338 qualifications for different NAICS codes that could be considered small businesses. Additionally, they have widened the lens for what a small business threshold for money can look like. So whereas before you could not make more than $34 million on different opportunities with different NAICS codes, now they're saying you could be a small business even if you're making up to $500 million on up.
Mm-hmm.
So why is this happening? Because they're widening the lens of who qualifies as a small business to basically, in my opinion, enrich the folks that are sitting here in Washington, D.C. Because what has been happening for years is a lot of different companies have said, we want the small business set aside. They couldn't get that. So then they pulled back a lot of the set asides. You guys have seen that in the last couple of years. But then a lot of these companies have also said, well, we would love to go after this work, but we're not small business. So they will partner with small businesses, right? Well, now they're just like, we just want all of it. So now companies that have earned hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars can now be qualified as a small business. And oh, by the way, that 6-digit NAICS code that you'll see, maybe it's 541611. You'll learn about this from Ms. Paula. Now they're saying we're going to broaden what that looks like. So we're now saying anything that's under 54161. So that extra number, that sixth number on the NAICS code, 541611, that last one gives additional specificity as to what types of work you can bid on, and it makes it very granular. So instead of it being technical opportunities and technical consulting, that 541611 might be technical consulting in X or Y or Z. Well, now they're saying, well, we're going to take off that last number and make it a broad category. Why does that matter? Because more firms will now be able to qualify as a small business under that broader category. So they're taking it down to the fourth, 5416, and the fifth, 54161 level. So just be on the lookout for it. I'll make sure to send you some information about what's happening, but she would know better than anybody. But I'll send you some articles that I've been tracking and some legal research I've been doing into the matter so we can provide comments. Comments are due on September 21st. But just
Yeah, I put the
understand that
link.
there is currently Oh, okay, perfect. There is currently an assault and an attack on small business, and people are trying to move small business out of the way so that these large primes can get opportunities that they really are not legitimately entitled to. So
And
just listen to how Ms. Paula tells you to maneuver, and you'll be good.
and my counteract is through the mental protege agreement. Do you feel that's the counter solution?
Absolutely, Ms. Paula. Absolutely. The mentor
Mhm.
protege, because you're going to have a large firm that's already walked that walk that you want to walk, right? And they're
Mhm.
going to be able to say, we have opportunities here. They'll still be able to fight, bring their bazooka to a knife fight, and they'll be able to still fight and get that work. So when Ms. Paula talks to you about matchmaking, talking to these mentors, making sure that you have your capability on point, because they're going to look at it for about 8 seconds to decide if you're the guy or not the guy, and if they want to talk to you or not talk to you. Do all the homework. I don't care how busy you are, because I've worked alongside Miss Paula and have gone through her class myself and have just studied what the workload looks like and looked at her students and worked alongside her students for years. I, Let me tell you something. Join the class, set time aside, and be about business. And do
Mm.
not miss an assignment. Because if you miss an assignment, you're literally taking food off your family's table. You're taking off college tuition, tires for the car, braces, a new HVAC for your home, retirement. Because what she's teaching you are not skills just for today or tomorrow. These are things that you'll be able to teach your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, everybody on how to eat. So I just want to tell you, I have two sons myself. They've known how to source and how to work on government contracts since they could put 3-hole punch documents into a binder. Okay, so we're all about making sure we're doing what we need to do to eat for ourselves. What Ms. Paula's teaching you will teach you just that.
Thank you, thank you. Does anybody have any questions before she get focused on that mountain roll? I don't want you going off a mountain. Anybody have any questions?
Okay.
Anybody? Y'all quiet? No questions. Well, what was your takeaway? I force it. Miss Houston, what was your takeaway? All right, folks, just gonna ignore us, sister. That's not right, but it's okay. No questions, so we can
I had
go ahead.
my microphone off. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
But
What was your takeaway with what she
it was
just said?
a wealth
About
of
government.
it was a wealth
Oh,
of
I'm sorry.
information. The information about the learning more about the CSO commercial solutions opening, the OTA, and the NICS codes as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
very good. We got
Great
to be
question.
prepared. Somebody put be prepared in the chat. We are at
Yeah.
1:30 and we're going overtime.
Okay.
Again, if anybody, Michael's going to show the app that he built, and then will open it up for question. Michael, are you ready to show your app?
Thanks, Miss Paula.
Yes,
Thank,
Good
ma'am.
thank
luck,
you,
everyone.
Attorney. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. Of course, anytime. Yes, ma'am. Bye bye.
Okay.
All right. Can everyone see my screen here?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the niche CSO application that was created for members of the boot camp to use for accessing
Uh,
CSO.
I'm not seeing it now. You sharing? Is everybody? Or is that just me? Can y'all see the screen?
I can see it.
Okay, that's
I
just
can
me.
see it as well.
All right, that's just me. All right, go ahead, Mike.
All right. So I'm going to log in here.
Hmm.
And this is just to give you guys a quick heads up. This is my view. This is an administrative view, so you're not going to see everything that's here. But the reason I chose to log into this account is because now I can show you some of the things that I've done, and you'll be able to see what your screens will look like. Um, this is what the app looks like. I'm going to go ahead and go over to my PM worksheet. This is actually an area that I've been working in already. These are some of my CSOs that I've taken a look at. When you get here, you can actually let's go over here first. We have this CSO only search, and this search is specifically for CSO projects. So when you first log in, this is the first thing I do is I come here and I select search now. And the only thing it's going to pull up are CSO projects. And they generally have quite a few. They have 10 pages of it today. I think the other day when I looked, they had 13 pages. You can see the due dates. This is actually this is a whole new set because the previous due dates were like August 26, August 27. These are all September now. So this is a new batch. I'm going to have to look at these this evening. All right. So when you come here, if it's something that you feel you're interested in, you can look at a view. You can look at the view here. This one doesn't show much. So then you could also pull up the view that's actually in Sam's, and it shows you, wow, this one has a lot of attachments.
Is this construction? Did I see construction?
Uh,
IT construction
you
description?
you may have because see, that's the thing with CSOs, like the attorney was saying, they are all over the place with them. They're construction CSOs, they're transportation CSOs, they're CSOs for almost every NIAX code.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's one that you're interested in, you simply come here, add to prospect. And what this does is it places in your PM worksheet. So this one is, yep, IT construction division. It's been added. So now I'm going to go over here to my PM worksheet, and it's probably going to be on the bottom. These are the ones I've been working on. So Army, Kronos, commercial. All right, so they all come over here, and once they're over here, um, you get to view the all of the attachments that they have. Here you have different stages where this is actually the new one here is a prospect. I can take a look at it. If I take a look at it, and if I decide I want to pursue it, I can do pursuing. I can show where I submitted. I can show where it's been awarded to me, lost, or I decided not to bid on it. So we have all this built in for you. What allowed me to working through the CSO for the past 3 months has allowed me to kind of build something that's really convenient and that allows me to not spend too much time on one task. So it allows me to move a lot faster in the process. Also have it to where um, I have it to where I can take one of the documents, like this brain here. Well, you may not know, but this is a brain. It has, if you see, it says send to AI Pursuit Advisor. And what this does is if I click on it, it brings it over here, and I have all of my credentials for everything I want to do for CSO. I have it listed here, or I have it listed. And once I select analyze, it's going to bounce this particular CSO against everything that I have, and it's going to tell me if I should pursue it or not. Like this one, it says high confidence, pursue as a team member. The technology that I created is called OIDS, so that's why it's mentioning OIDS, OIDAS. Okay, this is a good one.
Mm.
Okay, I have to take a look at that one then.
Mm.
So it's an extremely intelligent system that's going to save you a lot of time. Also have it to where everybody else in the system. This is the teaming match where you can see the individuals that may be qualified for some things. You
Mm.
may need help with on a specific solicitation. Um, Got analytics. I mean, I'm the type of person where I need everything just a click away, everything at my fingertips. I don't want to have to look up anything manually. So that's what I honed in on when I decided to build this tool. So it's pretty much it's automated. I mean, I don't it's just, I mean, it's very convenient for me, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be extremely convenient for you. There may be some things or some ways that I do things that it may take you an extra click to get to it, but it's a good tool. It's a good tool.
I'm excited. I'm excited. We are going into overtime, Michael.
Okay.
But you all got the gist of where we're trying to go. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? I love it. Centralize it all in one place, connect us together, um, provide the roadmap. The AI is our game changer. No questions. Going once, going twice.
So good afternoon, Cassandra Kirk. I have a quick question. And so this opportunity is not for a smaller, like a less than a year old business. This is for someone that's got a book of business that has done this before. Is that correct?
Not necessarily. If you're registered in SAM,
Mhm.
and have gone through it. This is just another pathway for you to get into the door because what they're doing is asking you, even if it's not been under your business, whatever you've done throughout your whole life is still part of your business. So one part of it is you're creating a white paper and trying to provide an innovative solution. Others, again, could be the project management component of it. You may not be an IT or in that area, but you know how to manage a project. And then the other pathway is through subcontracting. And that's what Attorney Chandler was talking about, being able to position yourself for subcontracting opportunities. So there's different ways to get yourself in the door. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and the CSO process is a lot different than the regular SAM.gov solicitation process. With the CSO process, all you do is there's a document or a couple of documents that they require from you up front. Once you send that information over to the primary contact, they're going to be in contact with you. Like they received, and if there are any changes along the way, they'll communicate that to you. So the process is it's a lot. It's more streamlined. It's more direct. A lot less people that you have to deal with, and your point of contact is going to be the person that's making the decision.
And you're not having to go through the bidding, the whole. It's broken into phases. You have to go to one phase. Once you pass that test, then you go to the next phase. And you get to, I think what I like about this, you get to write your own statement of work, correct?
Correct.
You're
Correct.
writing
That's
your own statement of work, and they're going to do no bids up to $24 million in contracts. So that's why I say using this vehicle, using this team, I may not qualify for that opportunity as a loan, but if we collectively come together and let's say 3 or 4 or 5 companies are responding to this opportunity, I get a piece of the pie, you get a piece of the pie. That's how it has to work in order for us to survive what we're going through.
All right.
yeah. Yeah, and
And
those
so,
and
Mhm.
I'm sorry, excuse me. And those
that's
the
okay.
CSOs may be at an idea phase where they're looking for an idea to improve something.
Yes.
It doesn't mean, that they need something right then and there. They're just looking for an idea. And if they like the idea, then they'll come back like, okay, that's good. Now we're going to move you to the second phase. The second phase, they may say, okay, you have the idea. We like this. Now we're going to give you a little funding to get started. With developing the idea, which may include having a software developer or someone to create the project
Mhm.
for you. But I mean, any individual, as long as you're someone who could think out of the box, have good ideas about things, it's open to you.
Right. And so, Michael, you've been doing this for a period of time. Have you been successful in actually winning one of these contracts?
Well, some of them take time. The ones that I've bid on, they're software based. So software based, those projects take times. I'm in phase two on three of them. On three of them, I'm in phase two. So there's something that could go for 5, 6 months. It just depends on how soon they're looking to get things done and how many businesses they have. Um, they have that's put in for those solicitations or for those CSOs.
Because we just found out about this game a couple of months ago, thanks to Attorney Chandler. Nobody's even been focusing on this that I know of. Have any, by show of hands, how many of you heard of this contracting vehicle or program before we brought it to the table?
And Paul, Tracy West has a question.
Yes, Miss West.
Yes. Two quick questions. One, will we get a copy of the recording? And then two, what was the deadline to register for to be in the program?
The early bird special will be tomorrow.
Okay.
The actual boot camp will start Monday morning. From 11 o'clock at Pinnacle Bank. She was online. She had to leave. Um, and we need 12 more slots to fill for it
Oh,
to be
okay.
effective.
And
Okay.
will we get a copy of today's
Yes,
presentation?
yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right.
Um,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am. LaShawn, you had your hand raised. LaShawn, okay. You're unmuted. You muted yourself. Mhm. Okay. Nobody has any
Can you
questions?
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I was going to ask about accountability because with the bar, you have to be accountable because it's like has regs. What about the accountability?
From whose perspectives? From they as you've seen, they've blown accountability out the water. They're using this as a way to get around the accountability. That's what Attorney Chandler was saying.
Hmm.
They've rewritten the rules, but now they don't have to be accountable as they would have previously based on the regulations.
Okay, got it.
Okay. All right. Any takeaways? What's some takeaways, someone? Someone we haven't heard, Miss Hawks, Miss Chester. I'm calling folks out. Hello? Everybody's quiet.
I have been speaking, but in the chat,
Yes,
our
ma'am.
takeaways are number one, like I said, being prepared, following the steps that you all shared today. Um, it's great to know that this exists because, as you said, I'm one of the people that never heard of this. I love the option of getting into this with less red tape to get going with this whole process.
Mhm.
And taking advantage and moving around what they're trying to block us from. Um, that's good information. One question I do have with the app that Michael just shared, is this an app that we will get access to, or are you suggesting we create our own?
Oh, ma'am, we're gonna introduce that to you in week 3.
Okay, gotcha.
Week 3, first two is getting the the financing in order, as Attorney Chandler talked about. The second week is making sure your capability statement and your SAM profile and all this stuff is aligning. And then in the third week, we're going to start connecting you with the portal.
Gotcha. And
Okay?
and then the early bird special is done tomorrow and the class starts
Monday morning.
the 31st
Yes, right. At Pinnacle Bank.
at Pinnacle Brick. So this is in person.
The
Okay.
first session will be in person. Everything else will be online.
Okay.
And we'll have a graduation that we're going to have to find a place.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Miss Welch. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. You've been asking for input and takeaways, and I'm driving as well, so I apologize for not having my camera on. But I wanted to contribute. What I took away was the importance of collaboration, and the differentiator is that your program isn't just, hey, you got to collaborate. It's here's how, here are the tools, here is the work plan. Everyone here is be sure to collaborate, but well, that means we got to find people, do that. Well, what does that mean? This gives us structure to do that. So that's very exciting and a differentiator of this particular program as it applies to these new types of contracts.
Thank you. And it's about building capacity. So we're now building companies on these contracts, right? We cannot do this by ourselves. But collectively, as I say, you get a piece of the pie, I get a piece of the pie, and everybody is fed, and eventually we have a whole pie. Amen. Amen. Anybody, anything else? Melvin, do you want to say anything?
Well, look, we're serious as an organization, as a community, about penetrating this opportunity called the government contracting space. It's one of the bigger strategic opportunities where we need to show up and make a difference. It is transformative in terms of the billions of dollars that could come into our business community, which is the broader community itself. So, Paula, thank you for doing what you do so well, which is introducing and exposing us to, hey, here's what's going on now. Here's what you need to know. And if you take the initiative, you can seize opportunity. And I just think, this is where we demonstrate how serious we are as an organization, but then as a community about all the stuff we talk about. But then what are you doing? So we've got to get these opportunities and show people that, this is real. So this is an example of us once again saying, here it is, let's go. And so I really applaud the individuals who are taking the next step and going to show up and be a part of it. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. And we're leading by example, Melvin, because what do we have? A collaborative effort between the chambers, Pinnacle Bank, and GPI. This is how it works. We all have the same common goal. So this is where we have We have to come together, everyone. You will consistently hear me say that. Um, and that's it for me. Michael, you have anything you want to close out with?
I did forget to mention about Prime Match AI, which is another tool that's been created for overall government solicitations. It's a more streamlined, more intelligent platform that would take the place of SAM.gov. And we're actually in a test phase for that right now. So all the members of the boot camp will actually have access to that software free of
Outside. So
out,
that software is going to be focused on general opportunities. The one that you're getting access to is specifically for CSO opportunities.
right.
So that's going to be an extra bonus for you guys. That's what he's telling you, because he's going to use you guys to beta test how to build this software to pull all the information in-house, how we collaborate together. All of this is my Underground Railroad. Hello. All right. Unless there's any more, let me hear something from the men. Mr. Alford. And I do have Miss West hand. Mr. Race. Mr. Alfred, are you in a position to speak? All right, Miss West.
I joined late and I do apologize. Sitting in the office here, another office. I
Uh,
think you know what I mean. But I do have a quick question. Is this program centered around or could be used for food type services, products
for what?
for food product based businesses?
I think you need to look at it from a different perspective.
Hmm.
Do you deal with any manufacturers?
Uh, Not directly.
Huh?
Oh,
Well,
you mean
and
like?
that's what I was telling Miss Chester.
Hmm.
She deals with t-shirts.
Okay.
I'm saying look at manufacturing, and they are looking at 3D opportunities. Get out of your comfort zone and use AI based on your background, based on the opportunity, and let the AI help you determine how to take that pathway and bid on that opportunity.
Okay. Okay. And this is something that we could learn
That's
from
what we
you.
learned in this
Gotcha.
class. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Well, with that being said, it's almost 2 o'clock. We went over. I appreciate you all joining and taking the time. And hopefully we'll be able to kick off this class on Monday and become the testimony for everyone else to see what we can do collectively. Amen. All right, everyone. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.